It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this exciting and invigorating, robust lifestyle show. First of all, I'd like to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each one of you. And I am just overly thrilled today as this is my very first show from 2022. And I have a brand new diva with me, Lisa Brisse. And she is going to speak about the ride of our life. Oh my, I am just overly excited to have her with me today. So Lisa, could you introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Sure, Joyce. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and I'm very excited to be here, especially in the beginning of 2022. Let's see, where do I even begin? I am, by trade, I'm an exercise physiologist, wellness heart coach, spinning instructor, but also happen to be an author. And basically, I've been teaching people. I'm the founder of a business called State of the Heart Fitness, and it's all about helping people to live in alignment with their hearts, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. And I also happen to be, like I said, a writer. And I just released my second book, which this one happens to be the first in a series of 4 about the journey I had, the mystical and magical journey I had and continue to have with my magical horse, Little Miss, who I had for 35 of her 36 years in her body on this planet. And she transitioned in 2017, but when I say it continues, she has come to me through spirit and shows me almost every day that she's here guiding me. And so it's, first off, it has shown that relationships, especially of the heart, they never go away. They just change form. And so this book that I just released on December 12th, 2021, it's called The Ride of Our Life, Lessons in Faith, Love, and Wisdom from a Magical Horse. And this is book 1, the early years of our journey together.
Oh, wow. Oh, my word. That is just incredible. And I am on your website, and I see the book cover of The Ride of Our Life. And it is just beautiful. You can just see your Little Miss and you, how connected you are. I just love it. And you being a heart coach, what better way? You are already a heart coach, and now you have this magical and mystical journey with your horse. Oh, this is just beautiful. I am just so excited to hear more and more and more.
So I'm happy to share. It's one of my favorite subjects, ironically.
Oh, I can believe it. I totally believe that, because when you were talking about you'd had her 36 years in physical form, and then she's still with you in every day, every moment of your day, the way she is now in a spiritual form, and that is what is so beautiful too. So, Lisa, I'm just going to let you kind of start where you would like to on your journey with Little Miss, and we'll just take it from there in this interview.
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah, I guess it would start, back when I was 13 years old, growing up in central Minnesota, in a small town out in the country, and I was blessed to have 2 ponies at the time. My parents noticed at a very young age, I think it was 4 or 5, that I had an instant love for horses. The farm family down the road had a little pony named Brandy, and once I had my first ride on her, I just couldn't get her out of my head, and I think I just drove my parents crazy by every day just saying, oh, I wish I had Brandy, I wish I had Brandy, I wish I had Brandy, and I think I imagine them looking at each other going, what are we going to do with this girl? Like, she's this, anyway, long story short, Christmas Eve of 1974, one of my Christmas presents was Brandy. And obviously a kid's dream, and but that opened the door to this journey with horses. And so when I was 13, it was late 70s, and you probably are all familiar with the movie The Black Stallion, and if not, one of my favorite movies. And of course, there was this scene. I was longing for that kind of a relationship, and there is a scene in there that I could never get out of my head, and it was this boy with this connection with this beautiful black horse and running on the beach with his arms in the air, bareback, and I was like, I want that. Anyway, that was my vision when I started saying to Mom and Dad I was ready for a big horse, and started looking through the ads at the local newspaper with that vision in my head. And I don't know why I stopped on this particular ad, because it was nothing like what I had imagined. But something stopped. My heart stopped me there, and the ad read something like, orphan, malnourished filly yearling needs a home. And, I was just like, And I said to Mom and Dad, maybe we should go take a look at this one. And I remember them saying, really? Are you sure that this isn't what, you've been talking about? And I'm like, well, can't hurt to just go look at her. Anyway, we went on this beautiful summer evening, and there she was, she wasn't black. She wasn't a stallion. She was this silver gray with black legs, black tail, black mane, emaciated. Like, just, you could see her ribs, her spine, you could pull her hair out in clumps. Her hooves were split from malnutrition. This woman had actually rescued her from a farm where Little Miss was all by herself, and she rescued her to find her forever home. And so I am forever grateful to that wonderful woman who saved Miss so that Miss could come into my life. And anyway, long story short, I mean, it was her eyes that just had so much love, and the power of that obviously on some level changed my 13-year-old mind. And I just said to Mom and Dad, I think we need to have her. And little did any of us know that she would end up just thriving. It's a huge statement about what love can do. And not only did she thrive, but that she lived to be 36 years old, and most people are like, well, what's the average lifespan for a horse? And usually it's like mid to late 20s, early 30s. And she not only just thrived, it was probably several years later that I realized that we had a telepathic communication, where I realized, oh my gosh, she's basically a Zen master that came in the form of a horse to teach me all of these life lessons and wisdom and love and faith. And once I realized that this was in the early 90s, I got her in 1982. But in the early 90s, when I became mature enough, to realize what was happening here, once she knew that I could hear her and see her for who she was, it was like the lesson. She was so deliberate in all of her teachings that it would be like I would hear her saying, are you seeing? Are you understanding? And I'd be like, yes, miss, I'm hearing you. And anyway, it just, it was in the late 90s where, you know, I'm a journal writer, and I was just writing all of these things, and all of a sudden it just popped into my head, like, you have to write a book about this. Like, this is profound stuff. This isn't just about, you know, a girl with her horse. This is about human beings and being human and what we all experience on some level in how we are in relation to ourselves and to each other. And that one book turned into 4 because she just lived so darn long. And I thought it was going to be 3, but the 4th book is actually about all that she has been teaching me since she passed on. And so it's been quite the journey. I can't even tell you.
Oh, Lisa. Oh, that just sounds magical and mystical. What a beautiful journey you have been on. And from what I am hearing, she changed your life in a lot of ways, because what you're saying is how she came into your life like that. And just when you said that you stopped at that one ad, that was her.
Yes.
That was her talking to you, I bet, at that time as a yearling, that she knew that you two needed each other. And, that's my thinking from listening to you.
Yes, and, you know, her mother died when she was 3 months old. We got her when she was about 14 months old. And I firmly believe now, knowing what I know, you know, about animals through animal communicators as well, is they are aware of everything. And I firmly believe that her mother was with her. So Little Miss survived the Minnesota winter without really being fed. She pawed through the snow. And I believe that her mother in spirit was there with her saying, you just hang in there, little one. You just hang in there, because you don't even realize what's coming your way. There's going to be a family that's going to love you, and you just hang in there. So
yes,
she knew on some level, and man, did she pierce my heart at that young age, and, you know, force this 13-year-old to abandon her original, you know, vision of what she thought she wanted, and she got exactly what she needed. And she transformed my life, no question about it. I saved her, she saved me. We've heard these rescue stories before.
Oh yes, oh definitely. You rescued each other in a lot of ways, and she still is. She's still helping you on a daily basis. Oh, that is just beautiful. And then when you said that about her mother being there with her spiritually, her mother had chosen you guys as her forever family. So, I mean, I truly believe that, because I was once told that the horse chooses their family. And I believe the mother was right there saying, this is the family where Little Miss needs to go. Oh, Lisa, that is just beautiful. Now, how old were you when you realized that you were communicating with her, that you could hear her? And
oh, gosh, and it was a distinct moment. It was in 1993 on a ride, and the situation was as such. We eventually, and the first book is all about, you know, kind of our growing up together, our teenage adolescent years, shall we say, and it ends at the time that I dreamed about moving to California. That's a long story. I had been to California when I was 16, couldn't get it out of my head, and I ended up dreaming about living in California, but I didn't know anybody here, and it just seemed like kind of the impossible dream. But my heart was calling me to California. And these were the years between 18 and 20. And, but not only did I dream about being in California, I dreamed about Miss being with me, which seemed even more impossible because I didn't know anybody here, you know, and financially, I mean, that just seemed pretty much insane. Anyway, the first book is about how we grew up together and how that actually happened. And the book, this first book ends on the night that she arrived in California 6 months after I was here, and how that all magically and miraculously happened. Anyway, so at the time it was 1993. She came out in 1990, and it was 1993. I had ended up finishing my college studies at Pepperdine University in Malibu. The whole other magical story. Never imagined going there. Right there, overlooking the Pacific Ocean in Malibu. It was like I had to pinch myself as a little central Minnesota kid. Like, how did I get here? Anyway, again, my message always is miracles happen when we keep our heart and mind open and we believe and we just act as though it's happening. Anyway, I had gone to college there, got my degree in sports medicine, and my college roommate, Jen, we had talked about backpacking Europe after college, and we went that summer, summer of 93, 2 months backpacking in Europe, had the best time, went to 9 different countries. And while we were there, when we were in Greece, we were like, oh my gosh, Greece deserves a whole backpacking trip in itself. And so we talked about, well, when we get home, we're going to get jobs. We're going to save our money, and then next summer we're going to go to Greece, and we'll go with an open-ended ticket and backpack the islands. And I was like, yes. But then when I got back home and I was riding Miss, I was feeling horribly guilty that I had left for 2 months. And here I was planning on the next summer being gone again for even longer. And I remember as we were riding that evening, I was thinking, I was feeling this guilt, and literally out of the blue, I heard this most loving voice as though somebody was speaking directly to me. Do not ever, ever feel guilty about following your heart and traveling and going to wherever you need to do. She says, I came here to love you into you. And it doesn't matter where we are on this planet or in this universe, we are always connected. And I want you to live your heart and know that I'm always here and I will always be here. And I just remember being like, the love that I felt, like literally, I'm here to love you into you, like loving you into your freedom. I mean, that is unconditional love to the nth degree. And I remember coming home after that ride, and, my parents had ended up moving out here. And I remember coming home, and my mom asked me, how was your ride? And I remember looking at her going, interesting. And she said, why? And I told her what had just happened. And she just looked at me and she said, Lisa, there's always been something with you and that horse. It's always been there. And so it was from that moment on where it was like the floodgates of communication just opened. Once she knew I was hearing her, it was just like, Lisa, you might as well just be sitting here as a disciple to Jesus or Yogananda or whoever. And just, she was relentless and still is to this day.
Oh, Lisa. Yeah. Oh, that just brought tears to my eyes because that was so beautiful and so touching on what love she was showing you, that you're always together, even though when you're not together physically, just like when you were in Greece and on your trip, she was right there with you. You just weren't realizing it yet at that time.
But what was interesting is because I'm a lover of travel, and and when she said that, it was like I never felt guilty about traveling anymore. But it was interesting. She would always show up in my dreams when I would travel. So it was like her saying, just popping in, just letting you know I'm here with you.
Oh, Lisa. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. So that is
very magical.
One incredible story. Yes, very, very magical, very magical. And that is so beautiful. And there's just something about a connection like that it's just, until you've experienced it, it's beyond words that you can really say how it feels in some ways is how I feel, because I have a mare and she's my soul mare. I have 2 geldings too, and I love them dearly, but she's my soul mare. We're together.
Yep, I get it totally. And when we were here in California, obviously she lived the 27 years of her 36 here, and she lived up in the San Ynez Valley, which is just, I live in Santa Monica, which is in LA, and this is where I work and have my business. And she was up in the Santa Barbara area, and which is about 2 hours from here. And so for all those years, we never actually lived on the same place, but on the weekends I was up there and then I was here. And when she passed, it was obviously the biggest loss of my life. She was my anchor, my rock, my whatever. And I remember just feeling so lost. I always said that we were like 2 little sapling trees, that we didn't just grow up together, we grew together. You know how trees kind of grow together. And when her physical presence left, it was like obviously a part of me in this physical world left, and I really didn't know where to put my feet. And I remember about a month after she passed, I was sitting in my car and I was just kind of in a daze, and I remember hearing her say to me, "Remember, Lisa, we've been doing this for years. When I was here in the physical, we lived apart, but you were always at peace because you knew where I was." And she's like, "We've had a lot of practice of this. Like, I'm still here. Just close your eyes and imagine that I'm still in that pasture and feel the feeling of me being here. And the feeling is me." It's like, so it was like, whoa, oh yeah, okay, you're right. So yeah, it was adjusting to a new way of being with each other.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. Because you always knew you could go to where she was and see her in bodily form, and now it was in a spiritual form that you were seeing her, and knowing that she wasn't there in the physical like she had been in the past. So yeah, that was a huge adjustment for you, definitely. Oh yeah, she is just one incredible horse. There is no doubt about it. Wow.
Well, and go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and you are one incredible soul for finding that love that she was offering and trying to reach out to with. It is just a beautiful match is what it is.
Well, to say I feel blessed is the understatement of the century, because I feel like I have had this personal, literally avatar, a Zen master, whatever, divine teacher that chose me on some level to, and I feel that she chose me because she knew that I could share. It wasn't just for me, it's for everyone. Her messages are for everyone. And she knew that I was the one that was going to hear her and share her. And then that's what I really aspire to achieve in these books, is that I want the reader to come along and come like inside of me and feel what I got to feel firsthand. And that's just, and my editor, Marie Plas, I just want to do a shout out to her, because she just, the true test was, I knew what I wanted, but the true test is, can somebody who doesn't even, at the time, she didn't know me or my relationship really with Miss, would that come across to the average reader? And she, who, she's a professor of literature and writing for many years, and so she was a pretty good measure of whether I was coming across in my words. And she when I sent her a few sample chapters, she said, yes, I absolutely want to do this project with you because I am so moved by what you've written. And so she really even took what I had shared and just knew how to pull out even more from a reader's standpoint of what a reader would want to know more of. And so I'm just so grateful to her, and, you know, she was led to me in a magical way as well. So it's a beautiful
It's a magical story.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well,
it is.
Definitely. Well, how can our listeners that are hearing this and going, I want to know more, I want to find more out about Lisa, about this book, how is the best way for our listeners to get in contact with you or to find the book so that they can read the book firsthand?
Sure. You can go to my website, lisabrisse.com, and my name is LisaBrisse, so .com. Okay. So even though it sounds like breezy the wind or Brisse, if we want to be French about it, that's the best way is, and you'll learn more about, you know, the book, and I list the chapter titles, and as well as I share another book that I have written prior to this one. Doesn't have to do with myth, has to do with Michael Jackson, ironically, a spiritual journey with him that has been a part of my life as well. But anyway, my life has been it's been magical and miraculous. It's not been without its challenges. I've been dealing with cancer in the last couple of years, and little Miss has been my little angel and guide, helping me through this, heal from this, and you know, we're getting to the other side of it. It's just it's been a gift in itself, ironically.
Yes.
But yes, so lisabrisse.com is the best way, and you can also reach out to me on Facebook as well.
Okay, under Lisa Brisse. Okay, perfect. And we will post
Instagram and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We will post your links on this interview. And as this interview comes to a close, because this has just been fabulous, what is a final tip or something that you would like to leave with our listeners today, a key message that you would like for them to hear today?
Well, I would say it's what I say at the end of all of my classes and to my clients, is that when we heal our heart, we heal the world. And to stay open to the magic and miracles that is what life is. That's who we are. And, you know, the head can tell us a bunch of stories and reasons to think that things aren't possible, or, you know, dreams are for other people, not for us. And, you know, my experience in life is if you lean into your heart and you trust your heart and you listen to your instincts and your intuition, your heart always knows the bigger picture, even if it doesn't feel logical to the mind. So keep your heart open, listen to it, honor it, trust in it, have faith, and jump off that cliff knowing you're going to fly.
Oh, Lisa, that was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful message to leave with our listeners to close. Oh, my goodness. Well, I want to ask you, I would love to have you back on Robust Lifestyles again. You have so much to share with our listeners, and I can feel the passion in your voice on what you're talking about. So I would love to have you return to my show again sometime in the very near future.
Oh, I would be absolutely happy to be in whatever way you'd like me to be. It's my pleasure. It's my passion to share the messages of, you know, myth, life, all of it, all of that I've gleaned, and what I'm also, you know, gleaning from my journey with cancer. Like I said, it's been a rough ride, but it's been some of the greatest gifts I could have ever asked for. And so, and I just want to say one more thing about this particular book, because, and this is directly from myth because she was a rescue. Part of the proceeds of this book will be going to a rescue in Minnesota, because that's where she was from, and it's the Minnesota Hooved Animal Rescue Foundation, and it's listed on my website. So a part of the proceeds will go to donating to that rescue.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is beautiful, too. And a message from Miss. I love that. Well, Lisa, I just want to thank you so much for being on my show. And until we have you back again and connect again on here so you can share more of your passion and your love of life and living from the heart, I want to tell you to have an absolutely magical day today, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Joyce, and you too.
Oh, thank you. And you are so welcome.
Yes.
And I do want to thank all of our listeners. Yes. Thank all of our listeners. Them too. Yes, definitely. We both thank all of our listeners. And be sure to share this show with your family and friends. And check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Remember, have a fantastic day. Be kind to all. And as Lisa said, trust your heart. Give your animals that great big extra hug and share all your love with them, because they will give it right back. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.